Today's episode is brought to you by Spear Education. So a little bit background about Spear Education. Right now, it is currently based in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a learning center, and it came from smaller roots in Seattle. And the name of the company is primarily co-founded by Frank Spear. He was a dentist in Seattle. At the time, the learning institute that he started was called by a different name, the Seattle Institute. And since the 90s, it's grown really large, and they actually moved from a smaller institute to a much larger learning center in Scottsdale, Arizona. So it was rebranded as Spear Education. So the reason that they wanted me to talk about this is I'm a pretty new graduate. Granted, I'm a resident right now in endodontics. It's something that I still have to do to better my skills and knowledge, is to continue to learn. Dental school is great in providing a foundation, primarily a foundation to learn, but as far as finding the right source to learn after graduation, that's often the difficulty. Now, there are different ways. You can read journals, you can go through the old school route and have a mentor and learn in a one-to-one basis, but oftentimes those aren't possible. Oftentimes those aren't as interactive, and you need a great supplement to be able to give you a wide range of learning experiences. In my view, video is a great way to do it. So if you look at the Spear Education website, it is subscription based. So for a fee, you can subscribe for a year-long subscription. And here are the great things you have access to. The first one, and I think it's the most important, I do want to mention this primarily, are the video online courses. If you scroll through that tab, you'll see various checkboxes on the left side in many different categories. Now, the strength and the absolute core and the foundation of Spear Education is prosthodontics, because Dr. Frank Spear is a prosthodontist. But they've grown, like I said, for many years now to everything and all things dentistry. So what I do is I like to check boxes on things I want to learn. In my case, I am about to graduate from endo, and I'm kind of going through the process of considering different career options. Do I want to be an associate? Do I want to buy a practice right away? And the process is confusing. How much should I expect to be paid? What percentage? And if so, in what manner? If I do want to buy, how do I determine a practice's valuation? And those are things that are great on Spear Education, amongst other topics. Those happen to be the ones I looked at recently. So what makes these videos so great? Well, the first thing is the content. That's the most important thing. It has to be from great speakers, experienced speakers, and presented in a manner that is really easy to understand. So in general, the way the video courses work is within a course, there are multiple videos, and they're presented in like a lecture format, but more interesting in the video format. There's a presenter, and it's really well rehearsed and presented. And what's most important about this is they did it in front of a green screen. So behind the speaker, you can see basically a nice visual of what they're talking about. That was huge for me because I often find myself to scroll a little bit, and when I scroll, I can see the changes in diagrams behind the speaker and kind of go a little bit more efficiently. And speaking of which, as far as playback, the video playback is great. The user interface is very user-friendly and easy to use. It works really well in laptops, computers, even your smartphones. There's not an app, but as far as any mobile browser, PC or Mac browser, works really well, very smooth. And there's different options and speeds that you want to watch it. You can watch it in small screen versus widescreen. So it's very well presented, both from its context and its user interface. But you get even more than that. So one of the best things is a community Spear educators and other learners. So you can see a message board where you can ask questions if you like, or you want to just throw out a topic that you find interesting and you want to get feedback. There's also two other great resources. If you look at the upper tab, the first one is patient education videos, and these are great in whatever specialty that you do or whatever procedure that you do. You can quickly play it, and it's a great animation and graphic to better explain the procedure. And if you look at more of Dr. Frank Spear's videos, he'll always mention that presenting the right treatment plan in a certain way is really important, conveying what's important, and most importantly, having them understand it enough that they want to do it. So these videos are very powerful. And the last thing I want to mention is there is kind of like a Reader's Digest of articles by different authors and editors on different topics. It reads kind of like a magazine that you get monthly, but in an online form, and those are very interesting to read as well. Overall, if you are a new graduate, or even if you've been practicing for many years, I would recommend going and subscribing to Spear Education and even checking out their live and on-campus CE courses. They're really great. I want to go to one of these days, and I recommend that you check out their website, become a subscriber, and sign up for their CE courses.